Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. That's absolutely fantastic, and honestly, I never in a million years would ever think I'd hit this goal. So I want to thank you guys for just liking, subscribing, and just being there. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm over the moon. Anyway, so I'm doing this one as the 1,000 subscriber special is because, first of all, it can be a power hype. That means I can make him he's gonna be really overpowered, and that's just sick because I'm feeling overpowered at the minute. Well, no, not overpowered, but really over happy, and I like making him strong because I've hit 1,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. Second reason, this is a video that really first blew up on my channel. If you just scroll down ages ago, I made a video like this. In fact, I think it's going to be titled the same. So remaking it is it's going to be fun. So anyway, I want to ask anybody who's new here to like and subscribe. My new goal is it's 1,100 subscribers by the end of May. Now this one's going to be it's going to be a big grind for you guys, and I don't think you'll clutch it, but hey, maybe you will. If you do, that'll be absolutely fantastic. So, anyway, let's get a little into the story. So, to start off with, Deku is a kid. He's a kid. He's just a normal kid. He's still quirkless, but this time around, rather than making him puny, I'm going to make him work out. So yeah, he does not skip leg day, he does not skip arm day. He's working out like hell. He works out till he's buff. And bear in mind, he's still a kid, so he's just buffing out. He's just working out as much as possible. And the reason he's like running and all that, the reason I'm deciding to make him do this is to put some logic behind one for all. And what has changed is after he found out he was quirkless, rather than his mum going, no, you can't do it, his mum decided to get him combat glasses. So combat classes, combat classes, so he can basically build his way up and become a good hero, but a good quirkless hero, and the first quirkless hero. So his mum is now putting hope behind him and buying him exercise stuff. So basically, Deku's ripped, and he's really good at we'll go hand to hand fighting. So this is like All Might's style of fighting, so like punching with a few kicks. Like he can do certain kicks. And he, for the fun of it, he's learnt the crane kick from Karate Kid because he found it a laugh. Like he was like, "Oh, I'll use this as like fun in the spare time, I guess." So anyway, Deku, he's just finished school. Bakugo is messing with him, but due to Deku's newfound confidence, he's actually putting up a fight. This means that Bakugo gets even more annoyed at Deku, but somewhat respects him at the same time. So he gets told to swan dive, and Deku basically says, yeah, of course you'll tell me to do that. It's almost like you're scared of me. And they conflict off each other to the point where Deku actually, Bakugo has to walk away before, he gets dragged away by his friends before he attacks Deku, which could lose him his spot at UA, of course. But he doesn't. He has somewhat self-control because this is his whole future on the line, and believe it or not, as hot-headed as he can be, he's also very smart, and he's calculated. So he's hot-headed, but he's calculated. So anyway, Deku, of course, leaves and gets into a fight with the Slime Monster. The Slime Monster's like, hey, I'm going to take over your body now. And this time the Slime Monster's like, oh, this dude's going to be a good host. He's quite strong. I reckon he could hold my quirk very well. And that's when the Slime Monster starts getting a bit panicked because Deku actually is fighting against him. So the Slime Monster's like, oh, I'm going to have to put some effort into it. Anyway, the Slime Monster evidently wins against Deku, the quirkless boy who's trying to fight a slime monster, until All Might drops down and punches and basically takes him out in one punch. And Deku is, of course, fainting from lack of oxygen, because he's kind of been attacked by a slime monster. And he kind of needs to faint at this point. And then All Might's like, "Wake up, my boy, wake up." I don't know, I'm just buzzing about 1,000 subscribers yet again. Thank you, absolutely amazing. Anyway, wake up, my boy, you hit 1,000 subscribers. No, wake up, my boy. Where did "wake up, my boy" come from? Anyway, we'll rock with it. So, All Might wakes up Deku. Deku wakes up. Deku's like, "Oh my god, it's All Might. Can you sign this?" All Might's like, "Ha ha ha ha. I've already signed it." Deku's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna sell it on eBay." No. He's like, "Oh my god, this is off in my collection." Then All Might goes to jump away, but Deku, now with his newfound confidence, is like, "Oh, I need to ask you some questions." So he grabs onto All Might's leg. All Might jumps, and Deku realizes that, "Oh wait, All Might's jumping. I better hold on tight." And this time he shuts his mouth, knowing it's gonna dangle, and shuts his eyes because he's thinking about something. He's not like awkwardly moving around. He's being more calm and calculated, a bit like Bakugo. So his face isn't dangling about, and that's when he screams to All Might in the middle of the air. All Might says to him, "Oi boy, get off me." And the boy's like, "If I let go, I'm gonna die. Maybe you should let me, hold on please. Also, I need to ask you some questions." Bear in mind, this is in the air, so he's like, like, at this point, he is panicking because he's like 30 foot in the air. Like, no one can stay that calm. And it's still Deku, so he's like, please let me hold on. Look how high we are. Also, I need to ask you some questions. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna translate to audio wise, but it's what's done's done. So All Might, of course, lands, turns into Small Might, and Deku lands with All Might. That's when Deku is shocked by Small Might and asks him, "Are you an imposter?" And All Might is like, "No, I'm All Might. You might not know this, but 5 years ago I got into a fight. Yeah, don't go telling any of your friends online about this." And that's when Deku's like, "No, I'm not going to." And then Deku follows up with, "So, even though I'm quirkless, even though I don't have a power of my own, do you think I could become a hero like you?" And that's when All Might says, "No, but you can become a policeman." By the way, big up. By the way, I don't know. No, but you could become a policeman, or I don't know. You could work in the hospital or something. And Deku's like, Oh, okay. That's not very fun, but I've been practicing my whole life." And then All Might's like, you need a quirk to become a hero. Quirks are getting stronger these days, and you're just outclassed as a normal human. I'm sorry. What's your name again? Deku? Wait, no. Izuku Midoriya. I'm sorry, Midoriya. That is when I just realised I use Deku every single time in my titles, but it's not necessarily his name, is it? It's like his hero name, but I use it because it's short. Anyway, we're going to take a short break from the story here, just to explain where I'm going to go in the future, because something's just hit me. So I'm going to try and get around to some suggestions. I am going to be doing a part 2 to Regeneration. I will do part 2 to this one if people want me to and comment that they want me to, and B, this gets 10 likes? Yeah, we'll do 10 likes. That's a solid like goal. Anyway, we're going to get back on track real quick, and yeah, so Deku has basically been told off by All Might, and he's gone down, and he's a bit disheartened now, but that's when he's like, well, I mean, can I become the first quirkless person to ever become... No, there's no point. I'd just be fraud. I won't ever be as good as All Might. I won't ever be as good as anybody. I'm outclassed in this society. And Deku just walks uh, walks heartlessly until he, well, of course, bumps into a crowd. Then he's like, "Oh, I guess I subconsciously walked here without well, I guess I subconsciously walked here without knowing. Well, I'd better see what the villain fight's about. Maybe I could write down some information to give it to a proper hero one day." Then he sees his friend Bakugo's in danger. Due to Deku having what some people would consider hero's instincts, he susses out the situation. He realizes that no one can help, and he realizes that him himself can help. But before he can think about anything, as soon as he finds out that he is the only person there willing to help, he runs into the battlefield. He throws his bag at the slime monster, as we all know, which distracts it for enough seconds, and then he goes to start scraping away to try and get to Bakugo. This, of course, is in peril, but the slime monster realizes that's a boy from earlier, says like, "Ha ha ha ha, I'm gonna finally get my revenge." That's when All Might jumps in and pushes Midoriya out of the way to then scream "Detroit Smash," absolutely demolishing the slime monster and getting the W for them all. The heroes celebrate as that once very important, very crucial threat, nearly killing Bakugo, has now been solved. The heroes celebrate but tell off Deku because he's done something bad. Then he shouldn't have ran in without thinking, as All Might has to jump away, of course, because his quirk is timed out, and the only reason he could use it extra was because a boy with green hair inspired him to do so. Bakugo then thanks Deku and also says, God damn you, I'm gonna..." No, he doesn't thank Deku. He then says, "Oi, Deku, don't do that again, you worthless freak." And then also scoffs, "But thank you," under his breath. Deku smiles as he walks away after being told off by the heroes multiple times. Bakugo gets offered a sidekick role, and Bakugo angrily retaliates. That's when All Might jumps down. All Might jumps down, and All Might jumps down. Yes, that's very logical. Anyway, I'm a bit louder now, but All Might, Deku walks home as All Might jumps down in front of Deku, and he says, "I've been looking for you," and then he coughs and turns into Small Might. Blood splatters out of his mouth. I'm just going to get a quick drink, sorry about this. Right, okay. He then says to All Might, hey, what you doing here?" And then that's when All Might says, "Remember our talk from earlier? I told you them things. I lied to you. I wasn't following my own ideals. I wasn't following reality. Anyone can become a hero. But I've seen this light within you, this golden hope that I see from nobody else. You are a hero, my boy. I don't care what anyone else says. You've acted on your instinct. There's one thing that all true heroes have. All the greatest heroes from history have this one thing, and that's they go to save somebody before they can think. They act before they can think. They follow their justice before they can think. That's what you did today, Midoriya." Oh my god, what? How many times did I repeat that? Sorry. Anyway, that's what you did today, Midoriya. Anyway, I believe you can become a hero. And that's when Deku's face lights up and he screams, "Thank you." And then he realizes he's cut off All Might, and that's when All Might says, "But I'm willing to help you. See, my quirk is not like anyone else's. It can be passed on. It's not natural at all. It got passed on to me, and now I'm offering to pass it on to you." Deku, of course, happily agrees. And that is when the training... See, that's when All Might's like, okay, go home, get some rest. Meet me at the beach tomorrow morning. So, of course, Deku meets him at the beach tomorrow morning. Deku then tells All Might... All Might then tells Deku he's going to get some training, so I'm going to need to know everything about your life right now so I can build a schedule around it. That's when he realizes Deku's taking combat classes and decides to test Deku on his combat knowledge. Deku passes, of course, because All Might, he's a bit of an airhead, but he's strong, as Deku is very tactical at the minute. So Deku is actually more tactical than All Might when it comes to fighting. So if it was like All Might with no powers versus Deku with no powers, All Might would actually lose because Deku could tactically beat him down. And All Might's like, oh, I'm very impressed. Well, we'll keep your combat classes up. But from the days where you're not at a combat class, I want you to complete this training ritual that's toned to your body. After the 10 months before the UA exam, I shall give you my quirk for the UA exam. Deku then happily agrees, and the training regimen is done. Deku beats this training regimen, which causes him to faint sometimes, and All Might realizes he is going behind and trying his best. Of course, Deku in the meantime is also trying to train up his head, his brain, for the hero exam, because it does take he does have to do a UA entrance theory exam, so he's also studying for that. Then the 10 months pass. The reason I'm skipping 10 months is because I'm not going to explain all his training regimen. You just need to know he trained to the point where he collapsed every single day, and he kept on getting better and better and better and better. And he's now really, he's really strong, and All Might knows that he could probably contain 100% of the quirk, which is very impressive. So All Might's, of course, I think you're ready to take my quirk. Anyway, you clean this beach within 5 months, which is absolutely fantastic. Then we had our training sessions. I just want to say, well done, Midoriya. Rips off a piece of his hair. Finally, you need to eat this. Then Deku pulls a silly face, and All Might's like, I'm serious, eat my hair. Deku eats his hair and then runs off to the exam. Deku's at the exam hall, and he's shaking with fear because he's like, oh my god, am I gonna pass this if I let down All Might at this point? Oh my god. And he's distracted within thought. He's distracted to know whether he can use his power or not. That is when he's tripped over, but he's saved by a mysterious girl who taps him on the shoulder. To them, he can float. This is, of course, Ochaku, and she introduces herself and says, "Oh, you're working at UA too. Well, I hope to see you in there." And Deku just mumbles and stumbles all the time because, with being more confident, he's confident about his own skills from times, but he isn't confident about talking to girls yet, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But you know what, Deku's Deku. He's socially awkward. We all are from time to time. Anyway, getting back on track, he walks into the arena, and then he realizes that it's then he gets told the rules of the UA exam. Of course, he's muttering this whole time, so he's told off by Mike Head, is it? I forgot his name, but he's told off by the presenter. Wait, is it presenter Mike? Oh, I forgot his name. That's really disappointing. Sorry, guys. Anyway, he's introduced by him. He's told off by him for muttering, and also told off by Bakugo and Ida. And of course, he goes to thank Uraraka he's now in the getting ready for the exam. It's just before the exam, and he decides to go and thank the girl. And that's when Ida's like, don't distract her. You need to focus on your stuff yourself. So that's when Deku goes, oh yeah, I should probably see whether I can handle this one for all power. So Deku, confident that Deku, after being informed by All Might, he could probably control the power, starts to use one for all. A bright light glows from his body as his arm wraps around an electric. This electric goes golden until it rests and it goes golden until it settles and it goes the color that it usually is. Deku realizes that he has full control of the percentage and he's using 100% full cowling. But then he thinks, oh no, I'm using that much energy. Oh, imagine if All Might was using that much energy and he moved. That'll cause devastation. I should probably dial it down. He dials it down to 20%. He dials it down to 5%, guessing that'll be an alright percentage to move about without affecting the people behind him. The alarm goes and he shoots off. At this point, he's faster than Ida because it's before Ida's got his training and he's using full cowling. But at this point, it's just normal one for all for him at 5%. He runs ahead and he comes up to the robot. He's like, well, this is a robot, so I might as well test my threshold. And he goes, 10% Detroit Smash. He runs up to the robot, smashing it, mimicking the moves that he saw All Might do. Then he was like, pretty powerful. He took down the robot in one hit. No, he damaged the robot, he dented it, but it's still not down. This is a 1-pointer robot. So what he decides to do is, rather than unput the percentage, he goes repeated smash. This is a smash he's created, and he says, in his head he says, I still need to work on this name. And what he does is he punches real quick a bunch of times in vital positions that he has assessed from punching it the first time. So basically he looks at the positions where the metal looks the weakest and punches there. This is not always so accurate, and it's really good on humans because he's trained where the vital points are due to him being, a trained punching person. So he does that, and that defeats the robot, causing its limbs to fall off. Then he's like, oh my god, I'm running out of time, I should probably speed up a bit. So he jumps up to 45% one for all, going to the back of the arena where most of the robots are left untouched, and there's not many people there because it takes time to get to the back of the arena. So then he does Arizona Smash, I think it's called, or it might be Carolina Smash, where he puts his two hands together and swipes. And he does that whilst running, and that goes through a 2-pointer robot, completely demolishing it. Then he's like, oh, okay, so I'm pretty good against these. So he literally just, he says 100% Detroit Smash. And he does that down alleyway of the robots where nobody else is. And this completely demolishes the alleyway, racking him around 20 robots with a mix between 1 point and 2 point. Absolutely amazing damage. And that's when he realizes he's actually got some other quirks that is connected to One for All, but he doesn't quite know how to tap into them yet. So he can feel like the urge, and he assumes that it's some sort of One for All urge, but he doesn't quite know how to tap into it yet. So this is, of course, the other quirks appearing because he has full control over One for All at this point. Anyway, so Deku then hears that somebody's in danger. So what he does is he dials himself down to 50% and uses his speed to bounce off the buildings and get a jump up in the air. This is all within a second. And he bounces off the build. Well, no, he literally jumped. No, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, he dials himself down to 50% and jumps on top of the building. This is within like a couple of seconds, and sees that Uraraka, the person who helped him earlier, is in danger. So what he does is he uses 100% to jump from one building to another. This completely demolishes the tops of both the buildings, which is bad because a hero is not meant to demolish buildings, but that's not actually quote unquote marked in this score, and he's doing it to save somebody. He also makes sure when he jumps across the buildings that no one else is hurt. Then when he makes contact to the second building, he jumps up and he's head first on the robot, because what he's done is he's got from the back of the arena to the front of the the midpoint of the arena, so he's looking at the robot front on where no one else is. And he goes 100%. Detroit smash. It jumps towards the robot. The collision sparks as the robot's head is completely demolished off and smashes off into the distance uncontrollably, which is bad, but luckily it goes into another arena and smashes some other practice buildings in another arena, which luckily no one else was in yet, but it completely demolished that other arena in UA. That's when Deku realizes that he's going to have to make the landing without hurting anybody. So what he does is he decides to basically just let himself fall with One for All, hoping that that'll protect him, because he doesn't quite understand how to fully land yet. So he needs to basically get a lesson from All Might on how to land, because if he assumes that it'll just be like a normal jump, so he activates 100% One for All and basically covers himself, hoping to not get hurt. That's when Uraraka makes him float to make sure that he doesn't hurt himself, saving Deku potentially, even though he had One for All activated, so he would have been absolutely fine. But he still saves her in the eyes of Deku and everyone else. That's when everyone looks around astonished by his power, because he's completely ripped off the head of this robot and launched it further than he usually would, because you gotta think his arms are fully ready to use One for All, and now he can use 100% without the energy being wasted in his hands and all that, and he's actually able to support it, because if you remember when he used 1,000,000%, it was only around 60% of All Might. Now it's like full on 100% of Deku, not All Might Deku, so he's stronger than All Might at this point. But he realizes that the damage he's caused means that he can't really run around the city at 100%, otherwise the city will be demolished. Anyway, so Deku lands and he walks away from the UA exam quite happy, and that's when they all have discussions up ahead how they need to get basically Deku's definitely in straight away, but they still give him the amount of points that actually doesn't get him first place. Let me explain. So he loses his hero points due to the destruction to the alleyway, but he actually loses extra points as well, so that makes him get just below Bakugo, so Bakugo actually beats him, but Deku did destroy way more robots than him and got hero points, but he lost his hero points and lost even more, and actually went into minuses because of the amount of quote-unquote danger he put other people in with his uncontrollable quirk. Anyway, so for the next couple of days, he's just still keeping up with his training. He's not as worried like he was last time. And that's when All Might basically he gets a message with All Might basically saying he's in UA. Sorry for saying basically so many times. So he's in UA, and this is where I'm gonna leave this episode. It's a good half an hour in length. I don't want to make it too long. Anyway, so time to end up this thing, basically. Well, thank you guys if you watched this far. Absolutely fantastic. If you're new, like and subscribe helps me out a bunch. But so far, 1,000 subscribers. That is absolutely fantastic, and I love you all. So thank you. Amazing audience. Have a nice evening, and have a nice night, because this comes out at 12 o'clock. So bye.